Thank you for being here today. Today I want to talk to you about something that isn't often discussed in public or professional spaces, yet quietly affects so many of us. The kind of depression that comes not from apathy, but feeling too much. From caring too deeply, from empathy so strong it becomes unbearable. There's a kind of person who walks through the world with their heart wide open. You know them. You might be one of them. They notice when someone's eyes don't match their smile. They feel the tension in the room before a single word is spoken. They cry at sad commercials, yes, but they also carry the weight of a friend's breakup as if it were their own. They lie awake at night thinking about suffering that isn't even theirs. News stories, strangers on the street, the pain in someone's voice on the phone. Empaths. Empath is what we call them. But that word doesn't quite match our emotional freight they carry. Because you truly feel other people's pain when you carry it with you and you don't know how to put it down. Over time, something happens. Your soul gets tired. You begin to feel hollow and heavy at the same time. And eventually that emotional exhaustion can become depression. Now let me be clear. Depression has many causes. Biological, psychological, environmental, situational. But the type I want to talk about today is the quiet kind that grows in the heart of someone who feels too much and doesn't know how to stop. We often think of depression as numbness, and sometimes it is. But for some people, it's the opposite. It's the overfeeling, being so emotional, so emotionally porous that the pain of the world seeps into your bones. You become this sponge for suffering. And while the world might applaud you for your compassion, your soul quietly begins to erode. So, why does this happen? Why does it? Really? Part of it is neurological. Empathy lights up the same part of the brain as physical pain. That means when you witness someone suffering, your brain processes it as if you were hurting, taking it on yourself. Now, imagine experiencing that not once, but hundreds of times a day. In conversations, in thoughts, in passing glances, in silence. But the other part is cultural. We teach people that caring is good, but we rarely teach them how to cope with caring. We don't teach boundaries. We don't talk about emotional fatigue. We praise selflessness, but we rarely ask at what cost. And here's the hardest part. The world doesn't stop hurting, so the empathetic person never stops grieving. So what do we do with this? What do we do with it? First, we name it. We say it out loud for ourselves and others to hear. This pain is real. Depression rooted in empathy isn't weakness. It's not dramatics. It's not a personality flaw. It's the body and soul saying, this is too much. I can't carry all of this anymore. That deserves compassion, not shame. Second, we have to learn boundaries. Not the cold, hard kind that shuts people out, but the soft, firm kind that protects your spirit. It's okay to care deeply, but you don't have to carry everything. There's a difference between being someone in their pain and absorbing their pain as your own. Empathy without burnout. Empathy without boundaries leads to burnout. It leads to despair. It leads to the kind of depression that whispers, what's the point of trying if the world just keeps hurting? But when we balance empathy with self-preservation, we create space for healing, not just others, but ourselves. And third, we need places to release the emotions we absorb. We might be through therapy. We might use it through art, through prayer, through nature, through talking with someone who gets it. Empaths often feel like they're too much for other people, but the truth is, they're just carrying around more than most. And they need outlets. Without release, we implode. Let me say this clearly, especially for those who've been hiding your sadness because it doesn't make sense in the context of your life. You do not need a traumatic event to justify your depression. Sometimes loving this world deeply is traumatic itself. You feel the sorrow in headlines, the loneliness in your friend's voice, the injustice in systems you can't fix, and the quiet grief in people who pretend they're fine. And that makes you human. Beautifully, achingly human. But you cannot help the world if you let it break you. So, if this is you, if you are the quiet heart in your family, the one everyone leans on, the one who listens and absorbs and hurts silently, I want to tell you something. You deserve to be cared for too. You are allowed to set the burden down sometimes. You're allowed to unplug. You are allowed to not read every headline. You're allowed to say, I'm not okay, even if everyone else thinks you are. You're allowed to be loved, even when you're not giving, especially then. Because here's the truth that empathy often hides from us. You don't have to feel everyone's pain to help them heal. You just have to show up with presence and love. And that includes for yourself. Let me leave you with this. In a world that is often too harsh, too fast, too cruel, your empathy is a gift. But like any gift, it must be stewarded wisely. If you burn yourself out, you can't offer anyone warmth. If you drown in others' sorrow, you can't offer them your light. So take care of your tenderness, protect your spirit, tend to your sadness with the same compassion you offer to others. And remember, you are not broken. You're just learning how to carry a heart that feels everything. And that is no small task. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Please make sure you're subscribed so you can watch my content moving forward. I want to thank you all for your support, and I hope this did something for someone. Thank you for watching. See you next video.